welcome everybody. This is a social scene for the throne of the Empire of Thorns. Duh, duh, duh.
There you go.
Fuck you. Uh, we'll start off as Pearl is getting ready to go meet the others in the shopping district. I don't know where y'all wanted to set this, so I winged it.
It would probably be the Autumn Court, probably the training rooms.
So that they can guide her to the Autumn Court's training rooms. Naturally, as she serves Liam breakfast, she also covers him up, so she does not have a full view of him in all his morning glory. And she will tell him where she's going with Sebastian and
Roll out of bed and pull a pair of pants on. No boxers, no nothing. Kind of pull a button-up black shirt on over it. Slip his shoes on. And
she'll
he
look
doesn't
at him.
really need a sweater because he's very, very hot physically, being an incubus. So he'll pull on kind of a light jacket, like a fashionable light jacket. And he'll say,
Mr. Liam, if you needed your laundry done, you could have said something so you wouldn't have had to go out without boxers.
I have an entire drawer full. And then he'll kind of point.
She looks between him and the drawer very confused, and she goes, I'm going to just assume this is a modern man thing, and walk out.
I was up until 1 o'clock in the morning teaching how to please another man, for God's sake. And he'll kind of follow after.
Completely blood red as she walks to the kitchen. There's coffee and strawberry pancakes. I'm going out with Sebastian and Mr. Soren this
I
evening.
didn't roll out of bed for nothing. I'm going with you.
Are you sure? There's no trollops there.
Yup.
Then bring your coffee with you, I guess?
He's saying, he's gonna pour it into a tumbler already. Stir it. His eyes half closed. He'll spike it.
So, yay, spiked alcohol mixing with coffee that has whipped cream and chocolate in it.
Oh, he put the Baileys in it. Nice full-ass measure. Some Kahlua. He went like fucking total mixer on this bitch. He'll kind of stir it and sip and be like, oh, right there. Right there. Okay. He'll kind of pat his tummy. Okay, let's go.
Of course. And she will follow Mr. Liam to meet the lovely Sebastian of Big Muscles and Mr. Soren of the Quick Hand.
Yeah, he will, when the second they hit outside and the sunlight's in his face, he's like, oh God, it's back. Oh
Yeah,
God.
Soren looks distinctly uncomfortable.
He'll light up a clove, just like, God, make it go away. What did I do to deserve this?
As they go out, Pearl will open what looks like a vintage lady's parasol from the 20s and kind of hold it up and continue walking. If there's one thing you can learn from a lady, Mr. Liam, it's please always be prepared for the day's events. You're not going to always, be able to make it through life with your, she kind of looks down at the crotch of his pants and blushes, your wand.
Staff, honey, not a wand. Oh, wait, I'm sorry, you've only seen me. Okay, right. He'll kind of nod.
She looks very confused at him. She goes, I'm glad I planned to ask Azur and Miss Iris some questions later.
Do they involve sex?
Potentially.
Oh, God, why are you doing this to yourself? Don't do that. Don't, no. He'll pat her. Stay, sweet and innocent child, please. Stay.
I am not a child.
How old are you?
I'm 18.
No. You're like 60 50 some odd, okay? So the fact that you still say you're 18 proves you're a child. We'll pat her head.
One of these days, you're going to regret those words, Mr. Liam.
I see that. We'll walk with her to the court.
As soon as I see Soren, though, she's going to, like, dart over there, do, like, the squee hug of his arm.
As she sees who?
Soren.
Soren. Yeah, nope. He'll just kind of looking a little awkward, and he's just like, "Okay, hey, Pearl, how you doing?"
She'll like let go because she knows it makes him feel awkward when she greets him, and she'll go, "It's nice to be able to greet people I care about in a way that's I think is appropriate. I'm doing fine. Mr. Liam's joining us today."
Sweet. Hey, Liam, how you doing?
And he'll give him a nod.
Sebby's
I
at
remember
in the
when you were
Sebby's in the back with his fedora hat like pulled over his face because it's like normally do mornings, and he like just waves a hand in the back.
He'll wave at him.
So, I brought the knife. It's in my bag. So you can teach me some basics at least, Mr. Soren. I'm not really sure what else you gentlemen think I would need besides that. And practice.
The knife's just a good start. I'm sorry, Liam, what were you going to say?
No, he'll shake his head. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
With sympathy.
Out of character, I didn't even hear Johnny at all.
That was what's empathy.
Oh, what's everything on William? No, he's fine.
Okay.
Okay, apparently she had to drop. That ruins the fun of this scene.
Oh, really?
No, I had trolling planned for everyone. Okay, so Pearl will kind of like shake her parasol off, make sure there's no leaves on it before she clips it closed. You go, so where do we begin?
Okay. Well, firstly, I assume, are we still outside or are we actually in the room?
We're outside.
Yeah, no, we'll say, firstly, let's get you to where we'll be practicing.
It's not going to be live targets I practice against. I don't think I'm ready for that.
No, that's fine, but let's get you, like, out of the sun and, out of the public's eye.
Oh, yes, that would be nice. I like the sun, but it does terrible conditions for a woman's complexion.
Oh, trust me, give it a couple of days, you're going to hate the sun.
If you say so. So, Sebastian, him, I guess, and her will go trolloping arm in arm as they skip humming off to the autumn court. Tim, you can kind of take over a little in leading our little group here.
Okay. In comparison to the spring, in contrast to the spring court, which is very bright, colorful, and positive, the autumn court is very somber, dark, and quiet. It's very pensive here. And the training room itself is actually quite plain. There's a few like training dummies, training weapons, kind of just strewn about the place. Not too many people use it aside from like the Paladins of Shadow, or people like Soren that just happen to be a little more martially inclined.
And you've got both right now. You've got Soren and the Paladin of Shadow, so.
Yeah. So as Soren walks in, he's just going to say, okay, firstly, we've got to work on stance.
She'll kind of look down and be like, what's wrong with my stance?
Pull out the knife.
She'll kind of like pull it out, and she'll hold it like it's a kitchen knife almost.
Is she holding it like with two hands?
No, just one.
Okay. It's like, well, you should probably decide now whether you're going to be quick with it or if you just want to deal an ass ton of damage.
I probably would want to be quick with it.
Okay.
Then with the blade around.
Yeah, well, it would depend. If you want to use the style that I use, you could do it one of two ways. You can hold it in a reverse grip, and he'll pull out one of his normal knives. You can hold it in a reverse grip, and this can get you more power, but it is a little awkward to set up attacks sometimes, especially when you're against another enemy with a longer weapon. Or you can hold it a little more normally as he flips it around with his thumb on the guard of it, and he'll say, "This is good for very quick thrusts and strikes, but you may not get a lot of power out of it."
I'll try that one first.
Okay.
So I'm going to probably make a roll with her, though, to see if she can even do this correctly without completely embarrassing herself and making poor Soren facepalm. What would that be to see her, like, just swing the blade like how she should properly do it?
It would probably be strength plus weaponry.
Okay, so that is 3 dice.
She has Wow, she actually has weaponry? Nice.
She has basic, you know, like she knows a knife she could use to defend herself if she's home alone, and you know that kind of weaponry bullshit.
Okay.
1 success. So she's sloppy with it, but she has a basic hold.
Okay, not bad. As Soren pulls out a second dagger, so now Soren's dual wielding, and he'll just say, "Hit me."
Oh God, let's re-roll that.
Oh, she's just going for it. All right.
Worst case scenario, they end up on the ground together.
I'm just gonna let you know. Soren at the moment has defense 4,
Oh, this is great.
so she's down to a chance die. Okay. Unless did she have like 7 dice to start with?
No.
No, so
No.
like,
You take off 4.
yeah, you would take out 4 from the dice pool.
So technically, she couldn't at all.
Yeah, she
Yes,
would be down to
roll
what's called a
10
chance
dice.
die. She would roll
You
just
have to
one
roll a
die.
10.
There we go. We'll just keep 1 as the chance die, since they were all successes anyway.
Okay.
Well,
Then
chance
let's-
dice you have to roll a 10, don't you?
Yes.
Well, that's fine. I'll re-roll then. Fuck you guys.
Yeah.
Hey,
There
hey.
you go.
Oh! See?
Joke, you can actually reroll that 10.
Oh, goody.
Okay.
Well,
1 lethal to Soren as yeah, no, he's tough to hit. He is tough to hit, but you did manage to cut him, and he's like, "Ooh, not bad. You're natural."
Seb smiles and just goes, "She's good."
I'm gonna say thank you.
4?
Oh, I meant on what Mr. Seb said. I was assuming it was a compliment.
Seb was wrong. Yes.
She'll kind of like do this little excited, like little half bounce. Looks really awkward in, you know, a training arena when she's in a dress.
What kind of shoes does she have on?
You know those like loafers schoolgirls used to wear back in the 20s?
Oh gosh.
Yeah, that's what she has on. Like she could slip them right off if she needed to. They're just like brown, like schoolgirl loafers. That's the best way to describe them.
So, you've shown that you can stab, not too bad. Would you like to just learn how to fight, or would you rather get something a little more formal? Oh, see, he's asking if you want to learn Spetsnaz knife fighting.
Uh, I guess learning to fight with you would be a great compliment, for you're one of the, well, you're probably one of the only knife fighters I've ever seen.
When I was on my vacation, um, knife fighting was one of the more effective ways of fighting.
She kind of looks embarrassed about what she's about to say, and she goes, "The closest to a knife fighter I've ever actually seen was a colored gentleman in the circus who threw daggers at a lady on a wheel."
Ooh. By the way, don't use colored anymore.
She kind of cocks her head at him.
That word has kind of it's become offensive now.
Is that well? That explains Mr. Liam saying to just talk to him in public.
Yeah. Right. At this point, what you would say now to refer to me would be either black or African American.
But black's a colored.
Mm, colored has too much of a negative connotation now. There is a term called person of color, but that's to denote anyone that is non-white.
Well, so then that would apply to my mother, and I'm to call you African American or black.
Yeah.
Okay. She'll kind of start muttering, "Geez, all these terms in Arabic."
Mm-hmm.
So, that's okay, but I'm also worried, like, apparently this is not appropriate for weather or defense anymore, and she's, like, patting her dress.
Yeah, stuff like that's kind of come out of style recently.
I've noticed, but most of what I see women wearing that I'm told is what's the current trend. I actually thought they were ladies that worked the night street.
Well, you don't have to do what everyone else does. You can
Yeah,
wear what you
but
like. It can help to blend in, but you don't have to wear exactly what they wear. You can be modest, even now.
yeah. I need to get warmer clothes and something better on my defense, though, because just because I'm a girl doesn't mean they're going to hold back anymore.
Yep.
So, so what did Sebi want to teach me, or did he just want to watch and see if I flopped?
Looks back at Seb.
So I didn't hear that. It kind of cut out for me.
She asked, what were you wanting to train her in, or were you just watching to see if she'd fell?
Seb was just as I was here to help Soren. So if you want someone else than Soren to help you, I'm here too.
Okay. I'm actually not really sure. I mean, I could do a couple more rolls, and we could say they practice for a little longer, and then just turn this to a straight up social scene.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I need to do a fate dice because of your goddamn
Yeah,
defense.
Seb,
And Nelson cut out on us.
out that has more distance than someone with a knife.
Hmm. Oh, well, I failed that fate dice roll anyway. So we'll say she does not break Soren's defense for the next couple of rounds.
Oh, she kept trying to hit him? Nice. Yeah, no, Soren's just like calmly parrying. Kind of just more swatting her hand away every time she tries.
Yeah, with a sigh, she'll resheath their dagger and just be like, "No, Mr. Soren's too big and strong and thin to hit. So, for training me, maybe I could treat you guys to lunch or something."
No, you don't need to do that. Actually, do you have a mortal job yet?
Mr. Liam hooked me up with a part-time job in the bookstore, and then if people call from what he called the freehold, I tutor their kids.
Okay, nice. So you got a decent setup.
Enough money to I can get my own food, I can get a new book when I want, I can buy my fabrics. I can find a way to keep clothes on Mr. Liam eventually.
That piques my curiosity.
He has a habit of lounging.
Lounging, that's what you call it. Okay.
Seb will look to her, and will look to her, and then will look to Son and goes,
I did not hear that. You cut out.
Yeah,
yeah,
same here.
he looks to Pearl, then to Son and goes, Incubus, I guess.
Alright. Tell me, out of curiosity, why? Mm, I don't mean to offend you when I ask this, but what set you to join the Spring Court?
She'll look at him. She goes, "Well, I was scared a lot growing up, and so when I could feel, those little moments of joy or peace, I liked it. I liked sharing it. I mean, curling up with a good book is like the most joy I can get in my life, and I love sharing that joy with people. So it just kind of made sense.
Hmm.
Plus, Mr. Liam was there, and he's really kind. He's almost like a guardian angel. He's so, well, when he's clothed, he's extremely pure and gentlemanly.
How often is he clothed?
When I throw clothes on him or when we're about to leave. And he's the only person who's ever complimented any of my housework, any of my writing, and he loves it when I bring him breakfast in bed. Or when I do his laundry.
You're a very helpful person.
Well, he did save me, so naturally I would be helpful in return. Anyone who's my friend, I would do these things for. I mean, if you were ill, Mr. Sorn, or your wife was ill, I would come help them.
Okay. The thing that tripped him up was wife. He was like, "What?"
Oh, wait, am I assuming wrong? I assumed that an older gentleman of your age would be married or have a husband by now.
I'm 18.
Yeah, I mean, I was considered bad for not being married by now, and I'm 18 also. I
By the
mean,
way,
Go ahead.
he's just gonna say. By the way, people get married a lot later now.
Yeah, Mr. Liam explained sometimes later, sometimes at this age, and sometimes much, much younger. I mean, my mother was 13 when she got married.
Oh boy.
Uh, and when you start discussing marriage, you see Seb kind of goes red at the back,
Red in anger or red in like blushing?
blushing.
Okay.
She looks at Sebastian. She goes, "Is Mr. Sebastian okay? Does he have a fever?"
He's got some kind of fever.
Thinking for a moment, and due to Liam's influence, she blushes some and goes, "Oh my, did I see something inappropriate?"
Nah, you're fine.
Okay.
No, it wasn't you. It's
Apparently, I have learned much since coming back from Arcadia, like saying I like sweet creams in my drinks and in my mouth is not
Oh,
appropriate.
yeah. No, don't say that.
Ah. I have also learned that traffic has become incredibly worse in New York since I left, and that I cannot always cross the street when it says I may walk.
Yeah,
Because,
part of that's New York.
well, like, I went back to my home neighborhood, and the whole neighborhood was gone. There was just a skyscraper. Well, big tower. Liam said skyscraper. There. And it's like, where did the whole neighborhood go?
Lots of places, a lot of places in the more urban parts of New York, they're giant apartment complexes. You see, New York got very packed very quickly, and so what they did was they stopped building out and they started building up, which is why you see a lot of skyscrapers in the city now.
She goes, I mean, it's beautiful in its own way. Have you ever seen the old Metropolis movie?
Oh my God, that movie from the 20s? Oh yeah, that was new for you.
Well, it was a little new. It had been out for a couple of years by the time I saw it. I loved some of the buildings in there. That's what New York reminds me of now. I just hope we don't have any killer robot dolls.
I haven't seen any yet.
Not that I know of.
Um, she kind of like sits down. She goes, "Oh, by the way," and hands two envelopes out of her bag, one to Sebastian, one to Soren. She goes, "You're to read those after we part ways."
All right.
Mr. Devon got one too. He seemed to really like it. He even wrote one in response.
Okay. Understood. And then he'll kind of put it in a safe place so that way it doesn't get, sliced open.
She goes, "So I have to apologize to you also, Mr. Soren. When I first saw you in combat, I actually thought you were someone similar to Jack the Ripper."
Um, well, I have a second kith, and that second kith, well, based on what little study I've done, I think either Jack the Ripper was the origin of it, or he was just a very famous one.
She kind of smiles at Soren and she goes, "You're like me with multiple heritage. I have a second kith also, but from what mythology says, that one's not very nice. That one tends to seduce or eat men."
Well, you don't have to do it, mythology tells you.
That is true.
Seb smiles and goes, "My girlfriend used to eat hearts, and now, so that she doesn't eat hearts, when people are mean with her, I'm just eat them up."
She still totally eats her hearts, though. Like, we were all there during that fight, Sebastian. We saw that. Like,
She says yes, but that's different. Someone hit me and got her pissed off.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to say, bud, but I think it doesn't matter why the fuck you eat someone's heart. It just matters that you ate someone's heart. No offense. Please don't get me wrong. I ain't trying to throw shade. That's the term, right?
I'm sure your wife is the bee's knees and really razzes your berry, but, you know, maybe she could cut back on the heart eating? That sounds like it gets messy.
He
No,
like, makes a
she
face
doesn't
and
do
goes,
it.
"Well, she tries, but then people piss her off, like by hitting me."
True. Alas. So, I'm supposed to be meeting Lady Iris later. We're going to start a knitting club together, and we're going to make presents because some lady's pregnant.
That would be my girlfriend.
Oh, well, congratulations! Don't worry, I'll make sure there's nothing too inappropriate or dirty on the clothing.
Seb just blushes for a second and goes, yeah, fine.
Do you know the gender yet?
No, not really. We're wanting to find out.
I will choose unisex colors then.
Oh, God, thank you.
Alright, so this is kind of dull. She'll kind of look over at Soren. She goes, you know, there's something we had in the 20s, though, I hear is really popular now, and I've never been to.
Okay.
Bars and nightclubs, are they still like, you know, you wear the nice shiny dress and you go and swing dance?
Oh, hell no. They're not like that at all.
You got nightclubs now. They're a little more
Or is this
untame than they used to be.
or is this like that twerking I heard two teenagers talking
Oh boy.
Not working. I won't talk about that.
I asked Mr. Liam what it is, but he won't tell me. He told me I'm too innocent to know.
You are. I don't think you're ready for that yet.
If I can see Mr. Liam's, she stops and blushes, wand, I think just because I've only ever seen one, I could see a person dance.
All right. I'm just gonna say Soren pulls out a smartphone and shows Pearl twerking.
Her jaw has dropped. She goes, where's the talent? Where's the romance, the mystery, the flirtation?
Right here, and then he shows Pearl booty clapping.
That's just in your face. There's nothing left for the after date or the romance of marriage or. I mean, why buy the cow if you can get it for free?
That's lost.
I mean, at least be with your boyfriend in your bedroom doing that. Don't do it in public. Oh, God.
Seb just goes to do it in public.
And they told me I couldn't learn to swing dance because it was too sexual. Oh, if only Mother saw this time.
Again, not everybody does this.
I would hope not.
Yeah, so.
Goes, okay, so my next question, since Mr. Liam won't answer these, and I need to know this for the being of my own, what is an adult film? And why is it only 50 cents for an hour to watch?
Those adult films are pornographic in nature.
Okay. See, was that so hard? He could have told me that.
And it's only 50 cents to watch because it has no story, so it's not very entertaining unless you just want to watch.
Also,
Well,
the internet is a very powerful thing.
that.
She goes, so okay, I will have to set up a practice dummy for this at the house and practice some on my own, and then I'll come back to strike you, Mr. Soren.
Okay.
And, do you want to stop by the bookshop and get that book you wanted?
Sure.
Alright, so she'll have them.
I'd also like to get a book.
Okay. That works. She'll have you guys guide her out of the area because Autumn Court is not her own, and then she will guide you to the bookstore, which is like very small, mom and pop kind of looking. Like it looks kind of like a shop out of a fairy tale from the outside, and then when you go in, it's not very big. It's like a counter in the front, and then like about 6 aisles of books. So go on, and I'll ring you up as soon as you get your books.
All right.
Seb will look for a book about being a father and like having a kid. Or something.
Soren gets a couple of computer books on computers and stuff.
And he also take a book on the Japanese language.
She'll ring you guys up, and she'll go, "Wow, great selection, guys! I'm really proud of you. None of that crappy Twilight book I was told to look at."
Yeah, no. I was appalled too when I read that.
Seb looks to Soren and goes, "Can you believe Paul or Sammy reads that shit?"
Oh man.
I've tried telling her not to, but she thinks it's entertaining.
Yeah.
All right, I guess with parting ways here, we'll end it here. So, because unless y'all need to do something else with Pearl,
I think I'm good for right now.
Sebby can pat her head
Yeah.
again, and as they part ways.
Yeah, Seb. He'll
All
probably
right.
see as he goes away.
This has been a Empire of Thrones scene where Jessica wings it. There were not enough players to sexually troll. We hope you enjoyed watching, 3 viewers.
Jesus Christ.